Oh, Luke, Wolf, hey, my brothers. Are you kidding me? This does not suck buttermilk, right?
Ron Wolfley.
Hey, I was a wedge buster. How are you?
Luke Lipinski.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show.
It's Wolf and Luke.
Live from the Arizona Sports Studios on this Friday morning, it is the Wolf and Luke show. In for Wolf is Wolf. What's up, Wolf?
Hey, what's going on, Luke? How you doing, man?
I'm great.
All
How are you doing?
Man, I'm jacked up. I really am right now.
bet.
Even though I'm broadcasting with my glasses on. A little jacked up right now, Basinonians. Have not been able to speak, really, for the last 5 days. It's really been bad. I got to the Mongolian Shanghai surprise when I went back to Buffalo for my aunt's funeral, whom I love, Aunt Joy. Love you. Thank you so much. But I got it. I got it bad. The cold, it was going around up there in a big way, and coming back on the flight, I think that's where I really picked it up, and it was brutal for 5 days. The Mongolian Shanghai surprise, as we like to call it in the compound.
To keep you away from a microphone the week of the conference championship games and heading towards the Super Bowl, we were all kind of like, man, this Wolf must be feeling it, because and I can only assume what those at the compound were hearing about all these football games. And now you have a chance to talk about it, except not right now, because we're talking about basketball.
Yeah, right, I know. You wanted to set me up right there because you knew I was going to take that and I was going to run. Mm-hmm. That's right. Well, there's a long time we are going to get the opportunity to talk about that. 4 hours. So what do you say we go ahead and we talk a little Suns?
Yeah, let's start with the Suns, and this is going to be fun for me, Wolf, because you're coming back with a fresh perspective. You know, in the time that you've missed. What are the Suns' record? What are they? They're 2-1 in the time you've missed. There was some hope maybe after the Clippers game, even though it was far from perfect, but it was a win over a good team. Then they go out there and lose to Minnesota. You know, a lot of turnovers costing them a game again. But all of this time, there's been speculation they're going to make this trade or that trade. We're under a week away from the trade deadline, and I feel like it's anybody's guess what happens now. So let's just start with the fact that they are 8-3 in their last 11. Does that mean anything to you?
Yeah, that is great. It really does not mean anything to me that they're 8-11. You said 8-3 in their last. 8-3 in their last 11. It really does not. There were some numbers. A good buddy of mine who works in the association, basically, let's put it that way. A good buddy of mine sent me some numbers, and I looked at it, and the numbers right now, did you know the Phoenix Suns are 16-21 in their last 37 games? 16-21
right.
in their last 37 games with 4 wins against 500 or better teams. 4.
Jeez.
And 3 of those 16 wins were at Utah. Who happens to be tanking for the most part.
Good news. Utah coming up next Friday, Wolf.
Yeah, right. Okay.
How many more times do they play Utah? Oh, just that one.
I have to tell you, Luke, I was shocked when I saw those numbers. 16 of 21 in their last 37 games, and they have 4 wins against 500 teams or better.
Well, that's that last stat that you just threw out there that I hadn't heard yet. 4 wins in their last 37 games against teams 500 or better.
Yes.
That's basically half a season.
Yes.
And newsflash, that's pretty much all they play the rest of the way, other than actually, tonight they have Golden State. Tomorrow they have Portland. Monday they have Portland. And then I wasn't joking, they have Utah next Friday, but the schedule the rest of the way, Oklahoma City's on there, Boston's on there a couple times, Houston's on there a couple times. Like, this schedule is going to get brutal. Milwaukee's on there. I don't know if Milwaukee's fine. Oklahoma City's on there a couple times. Cleveland's on there again. They're going to have to beat the best teams if they even want to make the playoffs.
So for me, I sit there and I look at that, Luke, and I say to myself, there's no way in the world they're going to stand pat. And I'm not even counting the Yusuf Nurkic trade. I'm not even talking about that. Listen, Big Nurk, I love the guy, but Big Nurk, to me, has not been a part of this team since they sat him down.
It may be even longer, honestly.
Yeah.
It's felt like most of this season. I thought he was a big part of it last year, But for whatever reason, him and Coach Bud, I don't know when the rift started.
I know.
But I feel like it has felt like what you just said for longer than just since he sat.
So I don't even count the Nurk trade or the possibility thereof. And I think we're all expecting that to happen at some point in time. Whether he's part of a bigger deal or whether it's just for Yusuf Nurkic, whatever it is, can the Suns actually move him? I think that's a foregone conclusion. I expect them to do that. And they might have to throw in stuff to actually move him as well. Like one of those first-round picks.
Yeah.
One of the 3 that they have right now at the bottom of that first round. Having said all of that, could the Suns possibly stand pat? No way in the world is that a possibility, right? There's no way, even if you expect them to get better, it would be irresponsible at this point in time to look at 16-21 in their last 37 games with 4 wins against 500 teams or better and say, we believe this team's going to come around. They have to do something. And I'm talking about something big.
Yeah.
Not moving Nurk, something big.
Well, the only reason I would say it's 100% that they're going to do something. The only reason I would poke one hole in that is they're limited. Now, I agree with you. They need to, and they certainly feel like they need to. I feel like they feel like they need to more than I feel like they need to. But we'll see if they can actually pull it off, because now I'm starting to get a little skeptical, to be honest, Wolf, because they've been trying to pull something off for a month and a half, and they haven't been able to do it. But
the deadline looms.
It does.
And that is a pressure point.
Well, and now we're hearing more potentially big names popping up as being available, which would, in theory, help them move. Help them move Bradley Beal. So,
just hypothetically, Luke, if you're going to come to me and you're going to say, "Hey, you know what? I've got a trade here, and this is what we're going to include in this trade right here," and I'm going to say,
that's a bad start.
Look, what are you talking about? You think I'd actually trade this guy for what you just said? Heck no. And I'm talking about anything. I'm talking generically here, Basinonians, right? Of course, that's what you're going to do. And you're going to sit there, and it's going to get closer to the deadline and closer to the deadline and closer. And that pressure point suddenly is like, okay, listen, I think I'm in on this.
Yeah.
It's the way of the world. It's how it happens. So right now, what may not have been appealing a week ago, even a week ago, suddenly is looking a whole lot better for some GMs.
Well, we're obviously going to get deeper into this throughout the show, and we're keeping an eye on the news, certainly, as well, because anything could happen at any point today or the next few days, not only for the Suns. It is Friday, yeah. So it's
Friday news dump.
That's right.
Friday news dump is very much potentially in play, but Wolf, while you were out, there's a story on ESPN ranking the teams that are most desperate to make a move. The Suns were far and away number 1. There have been all these different stories about if there's any way they can even salvage this beyond this season. We had Bobby Marks on earlier in the week. He wrote a long piece on ESPN going through what each team can do. He had a way where they could feasibly get under the both aprons by this offseason by making some minor moves. But none of them are solutions for this year. And so I guess we just wait and see. They've got 4 games left before the trade deadline tonight, tomorrow, Monday, and Wednesday. And I'm with you that they are absolutely trying to do something. I don't know if what they are going to be able to do is going to really alter the course of this season, but it's out there at least.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm filled with dread. Dread for the Phoenix Suns right now. I know. I think we're all on the edge of our seat right now as to what is going to happen. And desperation is a horrible master. It is. When you're involved in a trade and you're trying to build a team, desperation is not where you want to be. You know where you want desperation? In between the white lines when you're playing on a Sunday. That's when you want desperation. Because I will suddenly drive you into the ground, bro. That's where you want desperation. You don't want it as you're trying to build a basketball team.
You don't want it as a GM.
You do not want it as a general manager. And yet, that's where I think the Suns are right now. And that's not a good place to be.
The piece on ESPN, it was ranking teams. I think it was like 10 teams that are desperate to make a move. And I was like, okay, well, where are they going to have the Suns on here? They had them clear number one, basically in their own tier, and they were the only ones that were extremely desperate. Everybody else is like, okay, might want to make a move here, or do this or that. Like you said.
Now, that doesn't mean that they are. For all we know, they're sitting there. We know exactly what we're going to do.
I don't know.
And we're going to pull the trigger. We're not desperate at all.
Do you believe that? Do you think the Suns are laughing much right now?
I don't think so.
All right, when we come back, Super Bowl 59 is set. So what are the biggest matchups within this game to watch for? And Wolf finally gets to talk about the fact that it is Chiefs-Eagles. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Look out, the NBA trade deadline is getting closer. It is confusing, and rarely is it a one-for-one deal. This team wants that player, but they need to move another player to open up a spot, and another team wants draft picks to make it happen for the first team. So will the Suns get Jimmy Butler? What will that cost? Who else is moving in the association? You stay tuned and we'll find out together. And tonight, we'll listen to the Suns at the Warriors with pregame at 7, 8 o'clock tip right here on the home of the Suns, Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Rick, what do you say you bring me that Brooklyn beat, if you don't mind? That's what I'm talking about right there. Gather round, my young crunks. You know, when it comes to building a better mattress, Brooklyn Bedding, they literally own it. The company designs and manufactures all of its bedding on their very own state-of-the-art factory in Phoenix. And then they ship the product directly to you, and they pass the savings directly to you as well. I can tell you right now, we are the Wu Fang Clan. We love our Brooklyn Sedona hybrid mattress with patented materials and advanced technology and meticulous attention to detail. Brooklyn Bedding is affordable luxury for you. What I love, they have free shipping anywhere in the basin. Doesn't matter where you are. You're out there at Apache Junction, they got you covered. Go to brooklynbedding.com for more information. That's brooklynbedding.com. Arizona built for Arizona's dreams.
Hey guys, it's Gambo, and if your goal this year is to improve your health, then it starts with building a foundation. If your testosterone levels are low or your stress is too high, you can't expect to lose the weight or start crushing your workouts. That's why I use M-Drive, the #1 men's health supplement at Sprouts for more energy, strength, and drive. You can find M-Drive at Sprouts or go to mdriveformen.com and use code GAMBO for 25% off your first order. That's mdriveformen.com. Don't let age beat you. Try M-Drive.
Saving for retirement was tough enough for us.
Yes, and navigating markets can be challenging at times.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we take a disciplined approach with your investments.
Tell us more about that.
We take an active approach to money management, positioning your portfolio for opportunities we see ahead.
So all your clients get the same portfolio?
No, we tailor your portfolio to your individual goals and needs.
What about communication? We don't like being left in the dark.
We check in regularly to keep you informed on the markets and your portfolio.
Which means you'll help us stay on track.
Yes, our goal is your comfortable retirement. And as a fiduciary, we always put your interests first, because we do better when you do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hey folks, Vince Marotta here for my buddy General Manager Brad Gunlickson at Earnhardt Buick GMC in Mesa. He and his team are rolling out big time deals to start your year right. They've got brand new 2025 GMC Yukon and Yukon XLs arriving daily, so this is the perfect time to take advantage of huge discounts on their remaining 2024 in-stock units. But hurry, because they are selling fast. Or if you're in the market for a truck, check out the 2024 GMC Sierra 1500. It's loaded with a 5.3-liter V8 engine at an amazing 0% APR financing rate with approved credit. Or get $6,000 in purchase allowance toward your purchase with an eligible trade-in. No bull. All offers can be found online at EarnhardtBuickGMC.com. We are professional grade.
At Earnhardt Buick GMC, most new vehicles include a $998 no-pull protection package as an added benefit. Offers include all applicable incentives on select models. APR terms limited through GM Financial. Based on approved credit, not all will qualify. Plus tax, title, license, and $599 doc fee. See dealer for details. Offers in 3/3/25.
Hello, everybody. Eric Bryan, owner of Precision Air and Plumbing. Why wait for a plumbing disaster? Call and take advantage of our $59.95 plumbing tune-up. Guys, annual plumbing tune-ups are essential. We'll do a water heater flush, sewer flow test, check all your fixtures, you name it, we check it. Let us get our hands dirty so you don't have to. Make the precision decision today and call us at 602-765-PIPE and get a real plumbing tune-up.
Decision with Precision Air.
Hey, it's Vince Marotta. Join us on Monday morning, the kickoff of Super Bowl week, the kickoff of WM Phoenix Open week. We'll talk about all of it starting at 6 on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
Hi, welcome back on this Friday morning. It's Wolf and Luke. Wolf is here, and I don't know when the last time this has happened in your career is, Wolf, where you've had to wait nearly a week to talk about two huge football games. So we know what the Super Bowl is now. We know it's Chiefs-Eagles. Maybe we should have known all along it was going to be Chiefs-Eagles. But, man, you start where you want to start on this.
Wow. First of all, just the fact that Kansas City Chiefs, once again, won another AFC championship, and they are in Super Bowl 59 and have an opportunity to do something that no other team in the history of the league has done. You have to start right there.
Yeah.
This team that everyone, they're going to get beat. They're going to get beat. They're not winning games the way that they used to win games. They're not winning games by beating teams by 17 or 21 points. They're not beating teams like that anymore. This is such a testament to the leadership of this team, the guys that are inside that locker room, and how they go out and ball out and prepare as pros. And you know what? When it matters the most, they're able to bring their best. That is championship caliber. And guess what? Here it is again. Living proof.
Yeah. Chiefs fatigue, and I mean, it's not like you've been on a different planet just because you haven't been in here to do the show. You've seen it. Chiefs fatigue is at an all-time high.
Yeah.
Now
that they beat the Bills, I'm just telling you right now, it's not in the Wolf League compound. It isn't.
I got to say, and we talked about this on Monday. We just kind of took a quick, unofficial poll on the show. Who do you want to win the Super Bowl? All four of us said the Chiefs.
Yeah. I want to see greatness.
And to be clear, I'm in no way a Chiefs fan. I've never even been to Kansas City.
I'm totally with you on that. Except I do love Pat Mahomes.
Well, yeah,
love Pat Mahomes and love Andy Reid.
I know Pat Mahomes is under a lot of fire right now because some of the calls they're getting, and I'm not going to sit here and say they're not getting some calls, but they're not the first team in league history to get it. Look, I don't like the Chiefs. I just, at this point, what they could do historically, I wanted Buffalo to beat them. I very much wanted Buffalo to beat them.
Oh, yeah.
But now what they could do, I don't have any tie to the Eagles. The Eagles are there pretty much every other year, too. So Kansas City winning would be to me, a much more interesting story.
It's incredible to me, too, when you talk about the Bills losing this game. Stop and think about it. 4 times now. 4 times the Kansas City Chiefs and Pat Mahomes have ejected the Buffalo Bills.
What do you even do
from going to a Super Bowl? Think of how crazy that is when you think about the same organization that went 4 consecutive years to a Super Bowl and lost all 4. And here it is again, the same scenario. Man, I was up there last weekend. I was up there for the funeral. Once again, my aunt's funeral. I was up there, and man, you could just feel it, the angst in regard to this, and the fact that the Bills could possibly lose a 4th time into the postseason, and that's exactly what happened. And it was a close game once again.
Always.
Can you imagine? Starting halves and finishing halves, they matter. The start of the Bills game was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen if you're a Buffalo Bill fan. And I know sometimes I speak in hyperbole. I understand.
No, it was pretty terrifying.
It was the Bills get the ball first, and Josh Allen almost throws 2 picks in 3 plays. and look, I mean, bad. 2 picks in 3 plays. 3 plays and a 3-and-out. A 3-and-out where Josh Allen almost threw 2 picks.
Which I got to say, I did not expect. Even if the Bills were going to lose, I thought Josh Allen, he would be locked in. And he eventually became that way. But that first drive, you're so right, man. The Chiefs were surprised he was throwing them the ball that accurately.
And what did Mahomes and the Chiefs do when they got the opportunity to get the ball? They went down the field in 9 plays and scored a touchdown.
What else would you
bada
expect?
boom, bada bing. 7-0 Chiefs. Oh, and then on the next possession, Josh Allen dropped a snap right into his hands. He looked a little shaken. Not stirred, didn't he?
Yeah.
He did. He looked a little shaken early in this game. And then I thought he settled down and he played so much better from that point on. And he did.
I thought he did too. And, those plays you're talking about aesthetically were alarming, but they didn't really cost the Bills in the sense that, they had the punt and then the Chiefs ended up scoring.
Right.
But the 2 interceptions he should have thrown were not intercepted. The fumble was not fumbled. So they were still hanging around. And then, I'm with you. I feel like he locked in about as much as he could from that point on. I don't know what you do if you're Josh Allen at this point. His record in the playoffs, Wolf, 7-6. His record against anybody that's not Patrick Mahomes, 7-2. And I'm sure you've seen this, but it's mind-boggling to me. Patrick Mahomes' record in the playoffs, 17-3 in the playoffs. And his playoffs, his 3 losses have been overtime to Brady in the AFC Championship, overtime to Burrow in the AFC Championship, Super Bowl to Brady.
Yep.
He's got 17 wins. Playoffs.
Yes. Man, it's incredible. That is stunning. Is that an accident?
No, and it's real bad timing for Josh Allen's career.
It is exactly right. He just ran into a buzzsaw. His name was Tom Brady. And Peyton Manning, for years, ran into a buzzsaw. And it's the same thing here with Josh Allen, of course, and running into the buzzsaw that is Pat Mahomes. Listen, how you start and finish halves, I'm big on this. How you start and finish halves of games, I think is really, really important. And to me, when you go back and look at it, the Chiefs were better in regard to that truth. And that's why they won that game.
Yeah, and, just to go back to that Brady Manning analogy for a second, it's the closest thing I think we've ever seen to what we're seeing with Josh Allen and Mahomes. I was looking at it earlier this week. Manning broke through finally against Brady in the playoffs. I think his 3rd try. I mean, overall, Manning obviously was on the wrong side of more of those than that. But Josh Allen's been on the wrong side of 100% of them.
That's stunning.
It's tough.
It really is right now. That blew my mind. There's no doubt about it. And then, of course, the Commanders and the Eagles, the NFC Championship game, that was awesome. Run the ball and turn your opponent over, and you'll win games. Straight out of 1948. I mean, this was a game that was won and lost because of the 2 oldest precepts there are in the game of football. Those 2 things. Control the line of scrimmage, of course, and make sure you turn your opponent over. Wow.
Philly's old school, man. Except, can you imagine Saquon playing in 1948? He would have 1,000 touchdowns this season. He might have one this year. He's almost got 500 rushing yards in the playoffs already this year, Wolf.
The reason why the Commanders lost this game was blocking and tackling, period. The blocking part allowed the Eagles to rush for 229 yards in 7 touchdowns. 7 rushing touchdowns in the game. And we all know Saquon and what he did. 118 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns, including a 60-yard touchdown on the very first play of the game. Are you kidding me? You talk about tone setters. That was a tone setter for this game. And Jalen Hurts scoring 3 touchdowns himself, but the tackling part of it as well. The Eagles tackled the ball, and they tackled so much better than the Commanders. And that aggressive tackling, or that aggressive attacking style, tackling the Commanders, led to 3 fumbles, 4 turnovers, all of them, in which resulted in a touchdown scored off of turnover.
You know, I don't want to say the Eagles have flown under the radar all year because what if they lost like 3 games all season? These two teams, if you combine their records up to this point and you throw out the Denver game in Week 18 when nobody on the Chiefs played, what are they, 34-4? These two teams? I mean, it's absurd what Kansas City has done, but also what Philadelphia has done. I don't want to say Philadelphia has flown under the radar, but they haven't been talked about as much this season, obviously, as Kansas City or Detroit. I feel like Minnesota got talked about even more, Buffalo, Baltimore, and yet Philly just doesn't lose games this year either. So this is going to be, as much as we're all sick of this matchup, it should be a really good game when it finally rolls around next Sunday. When we come back to basketball, what's the latest regarding the Suns and the NBA trade deadline with under a week to go? We'll get you caught up. We'll get Wolf caught up next. It's Wolf and Luke on Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
You can't use the old excuse about not having enough storage because we know you've got the cloud. Download the Arizona Sports app and keep it on your home screen for breaking sports news, all the Arizona sports shows and podcasts, plus listen to the Suns, D-backs, ASU Athletics, and more on your phone. The Arizona Sports app is presented by Ready Services Plumbing and Air Conditioning.
All right, Basinonians, Ron Wolfley here for my brothers over at Aria Dental Implant Center. Go to ariadentalimplantcenter.com for more information. And go to Aria Dental Implant Center if you want the all-on-4. Brothers, I can tell you right now, I have had the all-on-4 dental implant treatment. I can tell you right now, if you want a brand new set of teeth, beautiful teeth, in 24 hours after surgery, the all-on-4 will give you the closest option to your natural teeth right now. And what I love about this, Aria Dental Implant Center will save you thousands and thousands of dollars compared to the corporate dental implant centers that are out there. That's right, Basinonians, thousands of dollars. If you have missing and painful teeth, they will take care of you with a full mouth dental implant treatment starting at $9,900 an arch. Go to ariadentalimplantcenter.com. That's ARIA dentalimplantcenter.com.
Hi, this is Stuart Willis, President of Asset Preservation Wealth and Tax. A personal relationship with your financial advisor really matters. It's super important that you have the ability to talk about anything you need to with your advisor. So if you have been pushed off to a call center and you don't have a one-on-one relationship with your financial advisor, then reach out to us at assetpreservationwealth.com. That's assetpreservationwealth.com.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips.